For a commission. So we spoke about what we spoke about in public. For the executive to be able to act on it, both at the national level from what the president has announced in terms of a commission as well as parliament. We expect them to take action in order to help us to fight crime as police officers. However, we are continuing with our investigating work regardless of the challenges that we experience. And I'm sure we have seen of late some major arrest that has been effected as a result. So we're not going to stop. We're going to continue with that as police. So whatever the executive is doing, that is their responsibility. We focus on ours.
What have the last month and maybe 2 months been since that briefing? I mean, we know that the National Commission announced that your security had been increased. There were a number of changes that had happened. What's it been like for you dealing with these past few weeks?
Yeah, then the difficulty is that my privacy has been compromised, because wherever I walk around and I get people that recognize me and wants to greet me, and that's not what I enjoy the most. Other than that, everything remains the same. So I'm still proud of men and women out there, especially in KZN. On a daily basis, they're making arrests, they're recovering illegal firearms, and the successful prosecutions that are happening in courts as a result of the hard-working men and women out there. So I'm quite pleased with it.
I know you said that you didn't call for a commission. Well, that's obvious, but this resulted from those allegations that you made. Now, you are coming to the end of your term as a provincial commissioner in KwaZulu-Natal. So, I think is it in April next year? You'll be done here. So, when you look at the state of the SAPS and this potential capture, do you think that you're going to end up leaving a service as a result of the commission and the other investigations that are going on in a better place than it is now?
Yeah, look, the organization it's big. Policing is not about one person; it's about the collective. And policing is not about the SAPS alone. It's about the men and women like yourself, the members of the public who don't like criminality, and then they are able to share information with the police and hold us accountable where we do wrong. So it's a collective effort. So whether Mkhwanazi is there or not, it will remain a challenge for all of us as citizens of this country to make sure that we contribute in one way or another in the fight against crime. So whether I'm still in the service or not in the service, I'll still play my part.
What would be the ideal outcome of the commission for you?
Yeah, well, the main thing I think that needs to be looked at is the legislation. There's quite a number of legislation issues that might need to be looked at. The second one is a policy. Once we have that clear lines between the policy as well as the operations, and once you have that, you're going to have a problem. So that is my wish, that the policy might need to be reviewed, so the roles of the executive and operational people are outlined clearly, as well as some piece of legislation that might need to be reviewed, because there's quite a lot of hindrances that we have in terms of administrating the justice as we envisage to put those who commit crime behind bars, and to make sure that the citizens who want to see justice served, they are satisfied with what is done.
The public has rallied behind you. Do you personally believe that you are under any threat, or have you been threatened? Do you think that your life is in danger?
I think the life of a constable is in danger. The men and women that patrol the streets every day is in danger. The men and women like yourself who are not police officers who walk the streets, you're in danger. You saw the stats that came out yesterday, that still men and women still not feeling safe to walk on our streets. It simply tells us that we need to do more in order to prioritize those people. Other than that, for me as a person, I'll do whatever I do to protect myself, but I need to care more about those that need my service.
Family, I'm back again. This is Zebra Family Channel. Let's talk about NHLANHLA MKHWANAZI. What NHLANHLA MKHWANAZI has done us proud in the country by doing a good policing in the country and trying to minimize crime. Because the crime that has been going on in our country, politicians being killed, and a lot of people, and the country being run by people that are faceless from behind, controlling our ministers, our politicians, and all this because of their greediness. This is not a good thing. Then there comes NHLANHLA MKHWANAZI and drop something that shocked our country. Everybody was shocked. And people were speaking folk tongues, even Balula. he tried to speak in folk tongues, but he realized that he was crossing the line. Then he started to roll back and try to say, oh, I was not meaning this and this and this. But in fact, they didn't like what NHLANHLA MKHWANAZI did. Because at some point, you can follow the procedure. But when you follow the procedure, nobody takes any actions against those corrupt people in the country. Then you have to just ask yourself, why do I want to put my life at risk by following the procedures? Why don't I just blow everything in the air so that everybody can catch it? Because most South Africans knew about what is happening in the country. And the only thing they didn't know, that most of the politicians and ministers were part of this game. So that is the difference in this. There was a really serious crime in the country, but to realize that even ministers are being controlled by the faceless people who are running the country from the back, and we don't even know them. They can give orders. Have got access to classified information in the country. What is that? So that's where we realize that MKHWANAZI, what he did, the history of our country will never forget the name of MKHWANAZI, what he really did. Even his grandchildren will know about what really happened when their father or their grandfather or great-grandfather was working for the police force in South Africa. He is a no-nonsense police. So there's one thing again that he doesn't like because he understands the private, his security privacy has been compromised. So he's not happy about that, but he takes it a day. As the day comes, he goes on and do his duties the way he has to do his duties. But he really promised that in whatever happens, he's ready to protect himself. Because, when you have this kind of, if we can have 1,000 of MKHWANAZI in the country, crime can be stopped. 1,000, and put in all the provinces and do their job accordingly. Crime and all these drug lords can be stripped away and our country can be safe again. So what do you think, family, about what MKHWANAZI just said? But we are behind him and we really like what he did, no matter who say what about him. But he is our hero. He broke the ice when nobody wanted to break it. People were scared of their life. They feared a lot. But for him, he said, come what may, we have to clean up this country because we cannot have a country that is a banana republic. He did it. And the commission that is coming in, we understand that now they are pushing things because this thing is going to bring a lot of problem to the ANC. We understand that. As far as we understand that, but let's keep our hopes high. Family, what do you think about this? Drop your comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us fix our country, helping out MKHWANAZI in whatever we feel is not going right. Let's expose it. He will catch it on the air and he will move with speed because he's a man of principle. Bravo, bravo, bravo.